Hello, welcome to Local Anesthetic Podcast, the most trusted name in local news. My name is Alex, and joining us as always via Skype, actually not Skype this time, but it doesn't really matter, the listeners don't need to know, it's another video calling method, is Rob. How you doing there, Rob?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, and happy Advent.
Oh yes, of course. Oh yes, good. Do you have an Advent calendar, Rob? Do you still do that kind of thing?
Well, Alex, yes, I do. But let's do the opening. We'll do the intro, and then we'll come on to that.
I have done the intro, haven't I? This is episode 295, and we're recording for the fastidious amongst you on the 3rd of December 2019. And this is a podcast all about strange, weird, sinister news. Rob, there's your intro. Tell me about your Advent calendar.
Well, I think if you remember, I sent you a picture of it. So this year I've been brought by Sarah a Star Wars Lego Advent calendar, and I thought it'd be nice if I could open it live on the podcast.
Go on then. Presumably you've already opened 2 days worth.
Yeah. So let me just show you that. I mean, this is really pushing it. So I'm not sure if you can see that. So that apparently is an Imperial Star Destroyer. I mean, very loosely. I think we've got
that's
Kylo
Ren's. Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah. So, so it's just over my shoulder. So let me just bring it over. Might just hit the mic, but that's okay. I am a professional. Right. So what day is it?
What we should explain to listeners is I am a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, Rob isn't. I mean, when I say a big Star Wars fan, I mean like to a silly degree. But Rob, Rob, I didn't know you were as big a Star Wars fan as me. Well, you're not, are you? But you wanted a Lego.
It's more about the Lego for me.
Yeah.
It's exciting. So, listeners, it's a Stormtrooper.
Oh, very good.
It comes with a little gun.
Can you hold it up to the camera, Rob, so I can see the Stormtrooper?
I can. I'm just putting him together. So there he is. This little Lego man there. He's got a little helmet.
Where's the helmet?
Just there.
Well, Rob, you're wrong. It's not a Stormtrooper. It's a First Order Trooper. Slightly different.
Yeah, okay, but it's for the new franchise, and there's a little blaster as well.
Very good, Rob. Okay, yeah, good. I mean, this is great for the listeners, isn't it? Who can't see us over webcam, so this is brilliant.
I'll take a picture. It's fine, and we'll continue it up until Christmas.
Rob, do you have any news?
I don't think so. Actually, again, it's been relatively quiet. Again, the usual people submitting stories, but so I just dropped my Lego man there. But no, I think I think everything's still quite quiet. Strangely so, if you ask me.
Okay. Should we crack straight on with this, Rob? Because I feel we've got a lot of content to cover.
Yeah, let's go on with it.
Right, the first thing I need you to do, Rob, is I need you to go onto the internet, because I do need you to see a picture of what I'm about to talk about. If you put in... Well, let me just tell you the headline. It's from the Metro. It's by Harrison Jones, Wednesday, 27th of November, 2019. The headline is, Rob, we've got to have a Christmas-themed story, as you say, to mark Advent. And what better one could we have than this? Tesco shopper in hysterics after buying chocolate Santa, in quotes, with a penis. So, Rob, if you could if you could put into Google Metro, Tesco, Santa, penis, I want you to see this Santa. You do need to see it.
I've got it.
You've got it already?
Yeah, okay.
Impressive. So if you open that up and tell me what you think.
I mean, that's astonishing, Alex. I mean, first of all, I would say that the penis is on the inside. It's not it's not on.
It's hidden.
Yeah.
Well, describe what it is. It's like a hollow. It's like a Santa that's hollow inside. But once you've cracked open the chocolate on its midriff section, there is a penis inside. And what I love, Rob, it's fairly authentic because it is an old man saggy penis, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's clear definition on the crown or the head of the penis, and also he's got some very saggy testicles. Really, that's the way I can really put it.
Yeah. Okay, well, this is a story, Rob. A shopper was shocked by a chocolate Father Christmas that left little to the imagination. Jason Greaves picked up the £1 festive treat from Tesco last week, only to find an unwelcome surprise. The 28-year-old unwrapped the hollow chocolate treat and then noticed an unusual penis-shaped splodge on the bottom half of the Santa. Can I just say, Rob, an unusual penis-shaped splodge on the bottom half of Santa is a very good Christmas-themed episode title.
It is, yeah.
He called his partner Candice, 19, and the pair collapsed into laughter, Rob, before taking pictures. The clothing company director, don't know why we need to know that, left the chocolate uneaten, while he contacted Tesco to alert them to the unlikely addition to the treat. Jason from Blakely, Lancashire said, I only picked it up because it was by the till and I wanted something sweet. I took it home and I was going to share it with my girlfriend. When I saw it, I had to look again. I just broke down laughing, to be honest. I don't know if it was a warehouse worker's last day and they were having a bit of a laugh, or whether it was a complete accident. But for it to be in the exact place where you'd expect it to be, it just seems more than a coincidence. I did tell Tesco, but they didn't seem to care.
No, why would they? I mean, for what? As I said before, this is on the interior of this hollow Santa. And when I mean hollow, I mean obviously that it's a hollow chocolate Santa. I'm not giving any indications as to him as a person. So why would they give a shit? I mean, you wouldn't see it. No child is going to look at that and think, oh, that's Santa's saggy cock and balls.
Well, hang on, Rob. They would when they cracked it open. But do you think this was deliberate? Or do you think it's just
not in the slightest.
You don't? Well, Rob, it's very well defined.
I think Jason, 28, wherever he's from, and very strangely, I don't know why they felt that. Oh, you seen the picture of him, right?
Yeah.
Him taking a selfie in a full-length mirror, which I don't know why really makes me chuckle. Because that's the best picture they could include of him.
A spokesman for Tesco said, oops, it looks as if Father Christmas has revealed a little too much on this occasion. Of course, if the customer wants to return the product, then we can arrange this at their nearest Tesco store. So they weren't offering any freebies, Rob, no vouchers, nothing like that. They weren't interested.
Do you know what? On this occasion, Alex, I stand by Tesco with this.
Yeah, very rare that I would ever stand by Tesco, but on this occasion, I agree with you. Now, Rob, on a food-related theme, it's our obligatory story from the Mirror. I've had this knocking around for a while. I don't know, week or whatever, week and a half, 18th of November, but I did enjoy this. Headline, it's by Bethan Sexton, which is a great name.
It is, yeah, it really is.
Man on 10-hour TUI flight given popcorn and crisps for gluten-free meal.
Okay.
This is actually unbelievable. So, a furious passenger has slammed TUI after claiming he was given popcorn and crisps instead of a gluten-free meal he was expecting on a 10-hour flight. James Howe, who suffers from celiac disease, said he had to endure a 10-hour flight, Rob, 10 hours, with nothing but crisps and popcorn for nourishment after cabin crew told him there was no 3-course gluten-free meal available after the plane had taken off.
That's astonishing. Surely, I mean, for a 10-hour flight, there's nothing else they could have given him.
Well, not only that, Rob, he was outraged because he'd forked out extra cash to upgrade his flight, only to be left with a bitter taste in the mouth.
Alex, I don't know whether I'm being a snob here, and chances are I probably am. But I mean, when you say upgrade your flight, I can imagine to possibly a better airline, not just, TUI, whatever, premium economy or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, the 39-year-old says he ordered the meal 3 months before his return flight to Gatwick from his honeymoon in Cancun. So he pre-ordered this special meal, but desperate cabin crew were left scrambling around for options and even checked the captain's meal, Rob, to see if it could be safely served up to James. I love that. I didn't know that on planes there was the captain's meal. He gets a separate meal on the plebs out there. I wonder what he gets, Rob.
I mean, it's gonna be like foie gras. It's gonna be, it's gonna be high end, Alex. It's not gonna be, the usual sausage and chips that they're serving all the other plebs on the plane. Also, I must admit that I want the captain to have a good meal. He's got a lot of responsibility. I want him to be well fed.
You're right, actually, Rob, but not too well fed. You don't want him falling asleep in the cockpit.
Well, Alex, that's what the autopilot's for.
Yeah, well, that's true. James and his new wife Claire from Watford, Hertfordshire, spent £5,500 on the break, paying £1,000 extra for premium seats, Rob, to make their honeymoon special. They paid £1,000 extra for these seats for him to be given popcorn and crisps for 10 hours.
I mean, I'm a big fan of both popcorn and crisps. Let's get out there right now. I must admit, I wouldn't pay an extra £1,000 just for that privilege, though.
Well, he wrote on Facebook, "Thanks, Tui. This was a gluten-free meal option given in premium flight on our home from Mexico." He's got a picture of him with the popcorn and crisps. "Popcorn and crisps to get me through 10 plus hours. Fabulous way to end our lovely honeymoon. People beware, if you book a meal, they are subject to availability and nothing is guaranteed. This is news to me. Customer services have brushed this off with a sorry. Well, sorry, I won't be booking another holiday with you and advising anyone to go anywhere near a Tui shop." I reckon I haven't finished reading this story, Rob, but I bet you after they saw that message, compensation was given, don't you?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, completely. Does the picture give any indication as to what a premium seat looks like on a TUI flight?
No. Oh, actually, no, it does. It looks, like a nice sort of leather chair in a sort of car. It looks like that.
So we're talking like I'm not really up on my planes, but I'm imagining not a big plane. No, we're not talking like a 747 or 787. We're talking like a 737 with one, where it has one of the little curtains you put across between premium and economy.
I'm not sure, Rob, but for a man who's not up on his planes, you seem to know a lot about different plane sizes and their corresponding numbers. I don't.
I got very excited when I flew on an Airbus A380, but
for God's sake! It's not just trains; it's also planes.
Some planes, Alex, not all.
Is it planes, trains, and automobiles?
I'm a fan of cars as well. Yeah, I can't deny that.
So the next thing is you're going to be taking poor Sarah off to the airport to plane watch, standing on the tarmac watching planes go off.
That was our first date.
Anyway, James' condition means he's suffering bloating, constipation, diarrhea and abdominal pain if gluten is consumed. Speaking today, he said, "I had pre-gluten-free food as celiac when I booked my holiday in July. My flight from Gatwick to Cancun was fine. My meal was ready and nice. My flight back, however, nothing. When food was coming round, they had no indication of my needs. There were no gluten-free meals on board. As we had already taken off, there was nothing the crew could do. The crew at one point brought out all the captain's food to read the packaging, but none of it was suitable. They could see how hungry I was."
I mean, I feel slightly bad for the cabin crew because it seems like it was a genuine oversight that was out of their control.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, it is, and it's not. What can you do? You can't land from. But what do you do? I mean, I've got no idea in that situation.
No, and also, if you choose to be a picky eater, then it's your own fault.
Well, it occurs to me, Rob, that human flesh would be gluten free, wouldn't it? So could they have offered up themselves for the meal?
Yeah, I think they maybe should have sacrificed the youngest child.
Or the captain's penis, Rob.
Possibly, or maybe gone down to the car. See if maybe there's some animals in transit that they could have sacrificed.
You're right. They could have hung out the car. I don't know if you can get to the cargo from within the plane, but somebody must have been carrying treats and snacks in their luggage. Can you imagine rifling through their luggage to find something for this man to eat? We found an apple. We got an apple.
Lovely image.
Right, Rob. My last story is also from the Metro. Now, Rob, you're a cat lover. It's from the 22nd of November, this, by Hattie Gladwell. Another great name. Woman with phobia of cats can't even look at cat food, Rob, without, in quotes, freaking out.
I mean, cat food looks like a lot of things. Mincemeat, that kind of thing. Dog
Shit.
Food.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Jean Diffenthal, 55, panics if she comes anywhere near a cat and avoids the pet food aisles in case she spots a picture of a cat on the tinned food. The grandmother of two is so afraid of kitties that she will also avoid watching certain TV programmes or adverts in case one pops up. So, for example, Rob, she won't watch Top Cat, won't watch Tom and Jerry, those kind of things.
How can you possibly watch TV?
Thundercats, Rob, more. Actually, that can be our theme later. We've got to think of media or shows that include cats in them.
Okay. Again, that might be a challenge, but yes, I accept it.
But we're up for the challenge.
How on earth can you avoid television shows if there's the possibility of a cat appearing?
I've no idea. She must steer clear of YouTube, though, I admit. I think, with all those cat videos.
Well, any social media, really. Any sort of internet content.
Rob, she pays her relatives to put their cats in a cattery when she goes home to visit.
This is hang on. So she must have had a bad experience with the cat at some stage.
Wait,
please
Rob.
tell me. Okay.
Anytime she spots a cat, she freaks out and her heart starts racing. Even the word cat, she says, gives her, in quotes, the heebie-jeebies.
What about pussy?
I'm not sure. It was a struggle for Jean to buy a house in Reading because she refused to view a property with a cat in it or any kind of cat ornaments.
No, sorry, this woman is unhinged.
She has never touched a cat, and singing any nursery rhymes mentioning the animal is totally off the table. I can't think of many of those, apart from the Owl and the Pussycat.
Yeah, I think that's it. I can't... Is there any more?
Well, is Dick Whittington a nursery rhyme?
I don't think so. It's a pantomime.
Jean says the phobia has become worse over the years and now makes everyday tasks difficult for her. She's desperate to find someone to help her overcome her fear and live a normal life. I think that person's you, Rob.
No,
you just
I would
shouting
have very
at
little
her.
patience.
No, you just shouting at her, oh, get over it!
Or just holding a cat going, look at it! Look at it! As she bursts into tears and runs out of my house.
Jean, who is currently unemployed, I don't know why they've got to put that.
Why is that relevant?
Said, I can't be in the same room as a cat or even look at this without freaking out. I'll avoid the pet aisle at the supermarket so I don't see images of cats or on tinned food. I'm from South Africa originally, and when I go home to visit family, I'll pay them to put their cats in a cattery while I'm there. I've got a tiny garden, but I've got 6 cat repellents out there just in case. I don't know what a cat repellent is. Is that a dog? She got 6 dogs. Is that what she's saying?
I don't know what a cat... I have no idea what a cat repellent is. Didn't know that was the thing.
Nor did I. I just, I feel my heart racing and I break out into a sweat whenever I spot one. Even saying the word gives me the heebie-jeebies. I just tell people I'm allergic now to save time explaining the phobia because people just don't understand it. People like you, Rob. Jean, who is originally from Durban, South Africa, moved to Reading 16 years ago and has had a fear of domestic house cats for as long as she can remember. She lives at home with her husband Russell and they have to plan ahead before visiting friends and family in case they have a cat. Jean has visited a hypnotherapist, but nothing has helped her overcome her fear. People, Rob, always ask if it began because of...
trauma.
Now, people always ask if it began because of some traumatic experience, but it didn't, Jean said. It didn't. For as long as I can remember, I've been scared of them, and I've no idea why. It's something about their eyes and their agility. They quietly dart about.
Sake.
I've never touched a cat because they look like they're all skin and bone, which freaks me out. Although it's just domestic cats, I don't have a problem with lions or tigers.
So you're saying this woman's unemployed, so she's got a lot of time on her hands.
Yeah.
Also, Reading's quite close to London, isn't it? I mean, you can get to Reading... it's about 25 minutes into Paddington, I think. So, somebody who doesn't like cats and probably would act violently if they came into contact with one.
Oh, come on, Rob. You can't accuse her of being the Croydon cat murderer. Can I just say, though, she could move to Catford.
No, she couldn't. She literally couldn't.
But Rob, what is this about? I don't have a problem with lions or tigers. Yeah, I've got 3 lions and tigers in the back room there. They're fine. But little pussycats destroy me.
It's probably the fact that she'll never come into contact with a lion or tiger. There's a strong likelihood
she's from South Africa. There must be lions.
She lives in Reading, Alex. She lives in Reading.
She says, I think moving from South Africa to the UK has made it worse because there are so many more pet cats here. They're often out roaming around and I don't know where they'll be hiding, which terrifies me. The phobia has become more extreme over the years and it now affects her day-to-day life. Such simple tasks as watching TV or spending time with her grandchildren have become a challenge. I used to love watching reality shows with my daughter Bianca, but one of them had a resident cat on the show. I had to look away every time it was on screen and wait until it was gone. There are so many adverts where they pop up and it sends my heart through the roof. I get sweaty when I see them and physically run away if I spot one. It's also difficult for my poor husband. We have to make sure there are no cats around. Russell's mum passed away recently, but before, when I went to visit her in the care home, this is her husband, I had to get Russell to remove a cat picture off the wall in her room before I could go in. So his poor mother was terminally ill, Rob, her husband's mother, and she had to get a cat picture off the wall before she could say hello to her.
Alex, this is making me angry.
Why? But Rob, it's not her fault. You were sympathetic with the flight attendants on TUI. How is this any more her fault than it is theirs?
I mean, hang on. These two things are very much unrelated. But also, if there's been no... I'm sorry, there has been something that's happened in her past.
Well,
maybe she watched Batman 2... You know, when Catwoman obviously becomes Catwoman. Is Claudia Schiffer? No, who is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, when she has that breakdown, effectively, and then maybe she watched that as a child and has been emotionally scarred ever since.
Rob, do you want to hear about a shit hypnotherapist?
Does it involve this woman who's scared of cats?
Yes, she went to see a hypnotherapist 5 years ago. She found the treatment ineffective. She said, the therapist told me to pinch my fingers and think of something good whenever I saw a cat.
Okay, so she's gullible as well then.
But I couldn't bear to be one long enough to try it. It's really hard to talk about because no one really understands. Although people are scared of things like spiders, which are so tiny. So why are cats any stranger? It's not like fearing a type of caterpillar that you see once a month. I have to face them most days. I hope sharing my story will show people it's not that unusual. It's really affecting everything I do. I want to volunteer for elderly care, but often they'll have pets in the house. And can I just say, love, if you're scared of anything to do with cats, the one house you don't want to go into is an elderly person's, because not only is it like they have a cat, but cat ornaments, they will be everywhere.
Pictures.
Yeah.
Crochet. Blankets, God, I mean, literally, like you said, the entire flat could be adored with images
Pussy.
of cats. Pussy everywhere.
Okay, Rob, you got some stories for us.
Yes, my first story is actually a follow-up, but I couldn't find it in the local paper. So this is from the Metro. Now, do you remember the gentleman last week who was looking to track down the model from Babestation so he could leave his inheritance to her?
It was a touching love story, Rob. Yes. Do you want to remind listeners what that was about?
Yeah, so basically this poor chap who's suffered a lot of ill health in his life spent a year talking to this Babestation model on the telephone, and I think via web chat, I believe, for over a year, as I said, and he was very keen to leave his inheritance of £20,000 to her because he had no family he wanted to leave it to, and he was so moved by her compassion and breasts that he wanted to leave his money to her.
So, Rob, what's the update?
He's found her.
You're fuck off.
Yep, he's found her.
Well, I did say it wouldn't take long for her to come out the woodwork when 20 grand was being offered. No. Well, I told you should dress. You should have dressed up, pretend to be the glamour model, and claimed it for yourself.
I mean, there is quite a striking resemblance between me and her, but.
Oh, really? Okay. I'd like to see her actually. So, can you give me the headline?
Yeah, it's There's
for research purposes, obviously.
It's just her face, Alex. Just to let you know.
All right, go on then. What's the headline?
Just maybe Babestation model turns down £20,000 offer.
What?
Yeah.
What? So sorry. Whoa. Okay, I'm really looking forward to hearing this story now. Yep. Okay, seen it now. I've got a faith to the name. Okay, Rob, go.
So, a former glam model has told a fan who wants to leave her his inheritance, says she doesn't want his money.
Okay, well, I'm really intrigued to what her reasoning is, but okay, let's hear it, because I'd take it up on, to be honest.
Really? You just take it and walk away? A guy that you've never met?
Well, he's got nobody else to give it to. If he wants to give it to me, that's his wish. Honour his wishes.
And to be fair, she's probably given him a lot of hours of pleasure.
Quite.
Albeit down a phone line. So Thomas Weir, 50, put out an appeal to find his ex-Babestation model, Laura Jones, 41, so he could give her his £20,000 will. But Laura has turned down the offer from Thomas, who said he wasn't a stalker, saying he should use it to complete his bucket list instead, which is, I think, a fair suggestion. He's obviously in the last few years of his life, this is what doctors have told him, so why not just enjoy himself?
Rob, can I ask you a question? Do you have a bucket list?
No.
No, nor do I. I mean,
I don't know whether I've been quite lucky, but there's nothing I think that I really majorly want to do and feel that I wouldn't be able to achieve at some stage in my life. I don't feel I need to. Yeah, I don't know.
I think there's something wrong with this idea where you've got to tick off these things just to get you. Do you know what I mean? I think there's a kind of obsession with that. This idea that you've got to have gone here, got to have gone there, got to have gone there. I don't know.
No, I agree. I don't know. It feels like a product of the social media generation, if you ask me.
There's that as well, but I also think, if I could just, as we're nearing the election, just say this. A lot of my work, listeners, involves meeting with people who really don't have very much in life at all. And so, and are living in very, very difficult circumstances. And when you're meeting with people like that regularly, you tend to take the very small things for granted without thinking, oh my God, I really need to do that trip to Australia or,
I agree.
to the Antarctic or whatever, because you're looking at people who are probably never going to get the chance to go away. And small mercies you become grateful for. But anyway.
Yeah, and now I think that's a very valid point, Alex, especially in the run up to Christmas. Anyway, So Thomas spent a year chatting to Laura on Babestation in 2010, a TV sex line which gives viewers the option of calling models live. He fears he may not have long left, with suffering from debilitating diabetes and being diagnosed with an MRSA infection.
Can I just say, Rob, I'm sorry. Rob, I'm really sorry. But my mind was whirring as you were talking about what we were just talking about with the bucket list. And I just thought there must be lots of examples of people who've gone on some adventure or some journey or, you know, some travelling somewhere because they really want to do this on their bucket list and have ended up getting killed in the process.
There must be plenty. That was where I was going.
There must be plenty of people who've decided to take part in some kind of activity, whether it be bungee jumping, hang gliding, whatever it is, because it's on their bucket list, but have ended up kicking the bucket because of that endeavour. The ultimate of ironies, Rob.
I was just thinking people who'd maybe listed all these bucket list items, and then had managed to tick them off in some way, and then realised they're all shit.
All that, yeah.
I have just found an image which is just called 60 best bucket list items, but that's a list for another day, listeners.
Yeah, you might have to include that next week. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, anyway. Where were we? So, Thomas said Laura was lovely, but he is unable to leave her his money unless she is properly identified, so he launched his lengthy search for her earlier this week.
It wasn't lengthy, was it? It lasted 7 days.
Well, yeah, true, yeah. I mean, lengthy is really pushing it. She's now come forward to say that she has since quit Babestation and now lives with her husband and children in Buckinghamshire. Berkshire, not Buckinghamshire. Laura stopped working for the show based in Bristol 6 years ago and now wants her family... and doesn't want her family to see that she's been doing it, adding she worked there at the time, probably for the attention.
But sorry, surely by coming forward, her family will now know that she used to be a Babestation model.
Well, surely her husband must know that. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't.
But the kids are going to know now as well. I mean, she's forever on Google searches.
She said, I don't want one of the dads at the school to say he saw me on Babestation. The mother of two said she'd be willing to speak to Thomas on the phone, but she didn't want his money. Didn't need his money, even.
I applaud this woman. I really do.
Yeah. Laura said, I think I remember him. Not many of the men gave the names, and there weren't many Thomases, but I would hear his voice. I would need to hear his voice to really recognise him. These things happen to other people, but not to me. I feel so sad when I read his story. He's been through so much. If he wants to talk to me over the phone, then that's absolutely fine. I'm happy to talk to him again, and I don't need any money. And then apparently they're in the process of arranging the call through their solicitors.
I just worry that, when Thomas hears of this, he's going to lose it. Like one of these things, because he's invested or this obviously meant something to him leaving the money. It meant sort of maintaining this connection. Maybe he wanted to look after her. I don't know. It's very sad, really, Rob.
It is, but at the same time, at least, I mean, I think, as you rightly say, I have lots of respect for this woman because she's come forward, said, look, I don't need your money, but if you'd like to talk to me again, I'd be more than willing to speak to you, especially considering what you've been through.
Yeah, but what if he wants the same kind of chat they used to have when he was calling Babestation?
I mean, that's not going to happen, Alex.
What if he tries to take it down that, he's like, so, what are you wearing?
Well, I mean, let's face it, he's got 20 grand. They can come to some sort of private arrangement, but that's entirely down to them.
Fair enough. Okay, what's your next story?
So, second story was reported in numerous publications. It went worldwide. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it in a local publication from the country it took place in. So
don't worry, Rob. I do have a local news story coming up, so don't worry.
Okay. Actually, I do as well, to be fair.
Good.
So this is from the Los Angeles Times. It's from the 21st of November. Baby Jesus looks just like Phil Collins. We cannot believe it's true.
No, Baby Jesus does not look just like Phil Collins. Otherwise, Rob, Baby Jesus was the Antichrist. I mean, nobody wants to be associated with Phil Collins.
I like Phil Collins. I went to go see him in concert.
Did you really, Rob?
Yeah, I like Phil Collins. I like Genesis as well.
I used to have a cassette of the single Invisible Touch when I was a kid. I liked that song. I used to play it over and over. But Phil Collins is a twat. Phil Collins was also on Brass Eye, wasn't he? Because he got roped into that whole anti-paedophile thing called nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense.
And he actually wore a cap with the word nonsense pointing to it, talking about, catching paedophiles. He's a complete idiot. But let's hear this story, Rob.
He was very good in concert, although he was at the time he was unwell and was sitting on a stool throughout the entire concert. Anyway, never mind. Right. Now, can I just say, by the way, whichever journalist wrote this has had an absolute field day. Is it something in the air tonight, Or does a huge baby Jesus statue in Mexico look unnervingly like 1980s Phil Collins?
So I need to look at this then.
You need to look at this because it really is uncanny. No matter who you are, you'll see the resemblance. Now, listeners, you have to strap in because there's a lot of song titles shoehorned into the next few paragraphs.
Hang on, Rob. Let me just see the picture so I can join in here. Okay, here we go. I'm surprised I didn't... Fucking hell. That is a very well, that's not really a baby. I mean, is it a baby Jesus? Baby Jesus had a lot of hair, according to the Mexicans. I mean, he's got a proper full... Well, he's got Phil Collins' head of hair circa 1980s. Yes, it does look like him. That looks like an idol of 1980s Phil Collins.
Yeah. Just to say as well, I read this from the Mirror version of the story that this is a Guinness World Record breaking statue of baby Jesus. It's the biggest in the world.
It's so huge. Yes, it's absolutely enormous.
Yep. The story goes on. I cannot believe it's true. Song title: Against All Odds. Another song title: The Epiphany of Our Lord Church in the central Mexican state of Zacatecas.
Another song title. That was a very popular one by Phil Collins.
It was.
I think that was number one, wasn't it?
No, that's a real deep cut, Alex. It's it's off
Bootleg.
Let me see if I can think. Against All Odds. Is that an album?
It's a B-side. It's a B-side off a bootleg.
And while you can't hurry love, if you hang in long enough, this statue is an easy lover.
They did have fun writing this, didn't they?
Yeah. Look through my eyes, and the blue-eyed Genesis frontman drummer, nearly 22 foot, 2,000-pound baby saviour. There has to be a title in there somewhere.
Read that out. Yeah, that's an episode title. Read it.
22 foot, 2,000-pound baby saviour.
Yes. Yes, something. Yes. Maybe you could put Phil Collins in there. Phil Collins saviour.
Genesis frontman drummer, nearly 22 foot, 2,000-pound baby saviour.
Maybe, but I think you could put the word Phil Collins in there. That gets lots of hits.
Yeah, true. Looks like twins who have lived separate lives. Do you remember the drum? Oh my, this is so bad. I mean, literally, I cannot stress how much they've enjoyed writing this article.
Can I just say something?
Titles
Can I just say something,
work.
Robert? Oh, right. Okay. Can I just say something, Rob? Slightly related to what we're talking about, if we put Phil Collins in the episode title, we'll get lots of hits. The other day, I tried something random on Apple Podcasts, which was just in the search box. I just put in Noel Edmonds. We came up third on the list straight away.
Seriously? I'm very proud of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Alas, you can't turn back the years, but you might recall Collins' trademark tuft of forehead hair, which is uncannily recreated on the baby's noggin. This fascination is a groovy kind of love.
Phil Collins. What was it? Phil Collins' tuft of.
Oh, Phil Collins' trademark tuft of forehead hair, which is uncannily recreated on the baby's noggin.
Yeah, just take out which was, and Phil Collins' trademark tuft of whatever hair uncannily represented on the baby's noggin. Something like that.
Fine.
You can work it out. I don't know, but that's very good.
I'll spin some gold, Alex. Don't you worry about that. So, this fascination is a groovy kind of love, as long as you don't let him steal your heart away. This is just another story, but only you know, and I know, that the statue might set a Guinness World Record, outdoing the previous 16-foot, 661-pound baby Jesus. I mean, honestly, why did they continue with the fucking song titles?
I can't take any more Phil Collins. I think we've got the gist.
Fair enough.
Gist. Okay. Rob, look, I've got a story here that because I did want to read it out earlier. I didn't really have time earlier, but I do need to just make you aware of it. I mentioned this to you this is an update, but it's an update of just a headline I read you. I hope you remember it. I read you a headline which I just said was fantastic, and you said, how could you not read out this story? And I never read out the story, so hopefully you remember it. And this was probably about 4 months ago, I reckon. I can't remember. This is from the Bristol Live by Heather Pickstock.
Can I guess what this is?
Yeah.
See if I... Does this relate to a Gimp, by any chance?
Yeah!
Oh, look at that.
Why? How do you know about it?
I don't. I remember you featuring the headline. It's stuck in my memory.
That is Rob, that is incredible. Police issue update on latex-clad Gimp terrorising Sleepy Village.
What a headline.
Can you put that into Google? Because I do want you to see the picture of him. Because it is genuinely terrifying.
Alex, so this could be a very, very dodgy search.
Gimp Bristol Live.
Gimp Bristol Live.
Well, I would have thought you searched that kind of thing quite regularly, Rob.
I've got it.
Yeah, so if you click on it, I just want you to see the picture of him. Describe for the... I mean, it's genuine. He looks like Venom out of, the Spider-Man franchise thing.
I mean, Alex, it doesn't look like Venom at all. I mean, the only thing that's vaguely
the
familiar
mouth
is
does.
the fact that... Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Rob, it's terrifying.
What? Hang on. That mask looks very familiar and I can't think what it is. With the X's across the eyes. That's going to bug me.
Two men arrested in connection with incidents of a masked gimp terrorising a sleepy North Somerset village have been released without charge. Now, Rob, can I just say, a masked gimp terrorising a sleepy North Somerset village is a beautiful episode title.
I think that's the one, Alex.
So do I. Terrified locals in Claverham in Somerset spent the summer in fear after reports that a man clad in a black bodysuit and head mask was approaching people late at night. Residents spoke of being scared to walk home alone with the latex-clad pest on the loose, with various stories emerging about freakish encounters, Rob. Okay. Some then... Can I just say... I just love this sentence. Some speculated the area had been plagued by the Gimp for years.
How do you respond to that? I mean, if this man has been doing it for...
Can you imagine you've got relatives coming over? How is everything? Oh, yeah, we're being plagued by a Gimp, actually, at the moment, yeah. We're going out Gimp hunting tonight.
Or just imagine just sitting down, you've invited your friends over, you cook for them, a nice dinner party, and then suddenly you just see a man in a Gimp suit just walk past your living room window.
A police search got underway using helicopters and sniffer dogs, and an investigation launched which resulted in 2 men being arrested on suspicion of indecency offences. The last report sighting of the Gimp was in July this year, but whoever is behind the incidents has laid quiet ever since. Police have now confirmed the 2 men have been released without charge and say there have been no further Gimp-related incidents.
I mean, again, as a policeman, that's not a statement you want to have to issue.
No. Thankfully, the police say we've not received any more reports of similar incidents since the most recent report of a man wearing a black bodysuit approaching a woman on the 11th of July. Speaking after an incident in July, one victim said she was afraid to go out following her brush with a leather-suited man. She told the BBC, "Everything was running through my head. I thought, this is it. I'm going to get attacked." She added that she had been left feeling panicked by the ordeal, which saw her confronted down a dark lane. She said, "It's not just a man jumping out at me and going boo. Every time I close my eyes, I just see that face, Rob. The face of a Gimp." And can I just say, The Face of a Gimp is a very good album title.
Yeah, it absolutely is. That could be Fecal Matter's second album. The difficult second album.
The difficult second album, The Face of a Gimp. Okay, Rob, it is time for our listener story of the week.
So this week it is from Amy. It's from the Whole Live, which we have featured before, which I'm quite partial to. It's a good little paper. In terms of local papers. It's by Joanna Lovell from the 17th of October. So it goes back a bit, but it is a cracking story. You ready for the headline, Alex? It takes a bit of dissecting.
Mm-hmm.
East Hull mum in tuna sandwich row admits her son was offered a hot meal after all.
Is this an update?
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. Why?
Or I've seen this story before and I didn't read it out. Not the updated version, but I remember seeing a story about this tuna sandwich. Anyway,
this is the update. So, an East Hull mum embroidered in a row with the head teacher over school dinners has admitted that her son was in fact offered a hot meal before being offered a sandwich.
Right, I saw this story and I didn't feature it, not the update, but the original one. I saw a story about a school where this whole debacle around this tuna sandwich, but I read it and it just made my head hurt. But I want to hear the update.
It's an amazing story because it's just so puerile.
Petty?
Yeah, absolutely. So right. Stacey Jarvis publicly accused the school of forcing her 9-year-old to go all day without food, claiming she was told that the hot dinners had run out whilst he took his time on the toilet. Which I love. It's just completely unnecessary. The 31-year-old was left fuming after a teacher at the Thanet Primary School told her Jaden had been offered a tuna sandwich, which he did not eat because he did not like tuna.
Fair enough.
But the moment...
I love tuna, by the way, and I have it for lunch most days.
Yeah, I know you do, Alex.
Which is giving me mercury poisoning slowly.
Okay, good to know. The mother for today claims she has discovered that Jaden was actually offered a shepherd's pie first, which he refused before he was then offered the tuna sandwich.
Why did he refuse the shepherd's pie? Was it because he didn't like shepherds?
Does it say why he was refused? No, he didn't. No, it doesn't say why he refused that, but it just sounds like...
Rob, I would have quite liked to have been, not now maybe, in this era, but I mean back in the day, I would have liked to have been a shepherd. I think it'd be a very simple, satisfying life, Rob. Just you, the sheepdog. You know, very satisfying, Rob. You got all those sheep to choose from.
I'm just waiting.
And you get a nice warm sort of jumper out of it.
Okay.
You get a nice warm jumper out of it as well.
So not only are you talking about carnal relations with the sheep, you're also suggesting that, I mean, to be fair, that's what sheep are for anyway. So, but yeah, not the war thing, not the
Rob, I think animal lovers all over the world would question your suggestion that the only thing that sheep are on this planet for is to provide us with woolen clothes.
Nope, I think everyone would agree with that. Also,
right, well, okay.
surely it's better they provide us with wool than meat. Just a thought.
What? So you're saying that given the option, they should be grateful? I think they just prefer to live a life, Rob, without their wool being sheared off or eaten.
Yeah, Alex, they'd also prefer life without you touching them, but, beggars can't be choosers.
You say that, Rob. How do you know that?
Yeah, good point.
But anyway.
Where was I?
I think the original phrase was shepherds can't be choosers, and that's why
possibly.
They shag so many of their
sheep. But you say that, though. Anyway. Can you imagine that? I mean, because obviously you're living out in the fields, and on a night like tonight where it's cold, it's dark, and you're trying to herd your sheep, I think that'd be pretty miserable.
Well, I wouldn't bother tonight. I'd say they're fine. They've got lots of wool. Leave them out there.
So what you would be is a shit shepherd.
A shit shepherd, absolutely.
That's not a shepherd that tries to collect shit.
Rob, I take responsibility for this, but we're running out of time, so let's get on with it.
Okay. So the admission comes after the head teacher sent a letter to Mrs. Jervis telling her in his letter that she knew full well that Jaden had been offered shepherd's pie. And I would have loved to have seen that letter. Would have loved to have seen it. Miss Jarvis maintains that she was not told by anyone at the school and knew nothing about the hot meal until she received the letter on Monday. She claims then that she asked Jane about the shepherd's pie after receiving the letter, and he told her that he was offered the shepherd's pie first. It comes as Mrs. Jarvis reveals the letter from the head teacher in full. Oh, which can be read below. Oh, where's the letter? Oh, it is here. Okay. Right, strap in. Dear Mrs. Jarvis, I'm writing to express both my sadness and disappointment in your actions towards both the school and myself last week. As a school, we have 5 values of respect, responsibility, kindness, honesty, and friendship.
And shepherd's pie.
That we expect everyone who visits the school, both children and adults, to follow. Your actions and your behaviour and actions last week has shown a complete disregard for all of these. You were rude and aggressive towards both the staff in our admin office and myself. I often receive complaints from the children, staff, and parents regarding the inappropriate language you're using on the school site in front of children. Despite knowing full well that we have run out of hot food last Tuesday, that in fact Jaden had already tried a serving of shepherd's pie before being offered a tuna sandwich. This is without taking into account the desserts available. You still agreed to a newspaper report based solely on the basis that the school have run out of hot meals.
Rob, they should have fed him popcorn and crisps.
I love that, but also, absolutely. But also, they've thrown in the fact that there were desserts available as well, but no mention of that. She went straight to the papers, trying to get that compensation.
It's an extraordinary story, Rob. It's deep, Rob. It's deeply, deeply petty, Rob. And before we come to spelling out the word anaesthetic, for our listeners, I should say, Rob, that we do look forward with a mixture of eager anticipation yet trepidation to our next episode, which will be 296, Rob, as we move ever more forward. Like, why can I never remember the stories I've talked about? As we move ever more forward, like, as we move ever more forward, Rob, like, hang on, I'm nearly there.
When you say nearly there, you mean looking through your stories again so you can remember what the content was?
Yes, as we move ever more forward, Rob, like a woman walking down the aisle of a supermarket and seeing a tin of cat food and running, Rob, out into the street, panicked, sweating, distraught, only to see another cat out on the street. And I guess, what would she do? I don't know. Jump into a river.
Oh, right.
Jump into a river because a cat wouldn't follow you, Rob, because the cat is scared of water. Just like that, we move ever more forward to our next episode, which would be 286. That was shit. That really shit, and I apologise. We can be found on our website, lapodcast.net. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/LA Podcast. We're on Twitter at LA Podcast. We're on Spotify. On any of the podcast apps, please subscribe to us. Leave us a review, rate us, do all that good stuff. And we do have a donate button in the top right-hand corner of our website, lapodcast.net. You can donate to us, one-time donation, rolling donation, whatever you want to do. And by the way, if you want to submit us a story and feature on this podcast, send it to lapodcast.net at gmail.com. That's lapodcast.net at gmail.com. But Rob, I said earlier our theme for spelling out the word anaesthetic this week was going to be media involving cats. You thought it'd be a challenge. I'm going to kick us off, Rob, with A for the Aristocats. Remember that Disney movie? That's good, Rob. That's top drawer.
So N.
I thought about it 10 minutes ago.
Right, well done. So N, I'm going to go with Nermal from the Garfield cartoons.
Who?
Nermal. The little
right,
grey cat.
You're right. That is very niche, Rob. Have I got A again?
You have.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
two letters in.
Aslan!
Wow.
Aslan!
Where did you pull that
Fucking
from?
Narnia, Rob. Fucking Narnia.
Okay, E, so...
Did you ever go into your wardrobe, Rob, when you were a kid and see if there was a... I did. And there wasn't. It's just a fucking wardrobe.
Great story. E... I don't know what to tell you. E, so a cat-related media item begin with E.
Fucking hell, this is hard. I'm enjoying it, though.
This is going to be difficult, though.
Okay, I've got one for you, Rob. Eek the Cat. Do you remember Eek the Cat?
No.
Double E-K. Some of our listeners might remember Eek the Cat. It was a purple cat. His motto was, "It never hurts to help." Okay.
I think I've got an S.
Yeah, go on then.
Which is from, obviously, Salem from, what's it? Sabrina. The Teenage Witch.
Oh, that's very good. What's next after S?
T.
T? Oh, yeah. Top Cat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Top
Cat.
Cat. Fucking sense. Top Cat.
H. Oh, God. H.
Oh, there's a lot for H, Rob.
Humphrey. I say Humphrey the Cat. Why does that ring a
bell?
Rob,
think famous Japanese cat symbol and multi-conglomerate organisation.
H.
Think famous Japanese company, Rob. This image of a cat is everywhere.
Oh,
all
Hello
across
Kitty.
The world.
Yeah, Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. What's next? E.
Yeah, E again.
Oh shit. I'm sorry, listeners. I'm cheating now. There's the only one I can think of, unless anybody's screaming it out. I really can't. In Earthworm Jim, that very famous game, there was a cat called Evil, and he ruled over the planet Heck. That's bad,
I think that'll do, Alex. That'll do. That's
yeah,
okay.
But I'm cheating to get it, Rob. Well, T. Go on.
T. Okay. Well, from Winnie the Pooh, Tigger. Oh, that's not a cat. Oh, technically it's a cat.
No, yeah,
it's a tiger.
Yeah, tiger. But you could also have Tom from Tom and Jerry, Rob.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I fucking hell. I don't think there's any cats beginning with I. Rob, we've never not finished this. For the first time ever, Rob, we're going to have to leave I behind and come up with a C to get there. Is that we cannot think. If any listener can think of a cat beginning with I, please send it to us, please. And Rob, C.
The Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Very good, Rob. That was the hardest one so far. I didn't enjoy that at all. That's
Why did I listen
painful.
to you?
Aristocrat. I thought I started off on a roll, but yeah, the Cheshire Cat. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night, Rob, screaming out the name of a cat that begins with I. Do you know that?
There must be some ice-based or... You finish the episode. I'm gonna see what I can find.
Ice Cat from Thundercats. There might have been an Ice Cat.
I don't think there was an
actually.
Ice Cat. No. Apparently
There
there
is
is a
such
book
thing.
called. Yeah, there's a book called Ice Cat.
There we go. We've done it. We've fucking done it, Rob.
Uh,
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We will be back in a week's time with more madness. God bless.
and keep it local.
Fucking Narnia.